Welcome to the World Affairs Council of the Monterey Bay Area. We hope you enjoyed the following quick take on international affairs while we all wait out the COVID pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak to the World Affairs Council. I see from your mission statement that you are deadly serious about our future on this planet. That said, we are on the same page when it comes to connecting the dots to a sustainable future, no matter how far apart those dots are right now. First, I'd like to introduce my co-author, Stuart Scott. He is the person who invited and introduced the amazing Greta to the world stage in 2018. James Cameron describes the current global dilemma on the cover of our book. The world is completely delusional and going to hell in a handbasket. How do we make the crash landing soft enough for some kind of continuation of human civilization? We do it by taking bold action now. We should be guided by this message of urgency. We are the first generation to feel the sting of climate change, and we are the last generation that can do something about it. For all the children of the world, we indeed must do something about it. We must jolt ourselves into thinking differently. So let's begin connecting the dots to a sustainable future. The dots between the way we have chosen to live on this planet and nature's ability to sustain us. Let's just hope we do a better job than the Rapa Nui of Easter Island. We start with these 5 grossly unsustainable issues, all of which must be addressed. Mother Nature, pictured here, is not happy with what's going on and speaks her mind in the next slide. She establishes the theme of this book in the foreword, which is addressed to all humans in the developed world. As a result of your failed stewardship of this planet, things are likely to become very painful for you in the future. But frankly, I have run out of patience with you and your selfish ways. Quite simply, you've become very problematic tenants who are now in serious danger of being evicted. Let's begin with our food choices, because it is the only one of those 5 enormous issues that we as individuals can address immediately. Progress has been severely hampered by what we call the protein myth and the related locked brain syndrome. Because of the mistaken, yet almost ubiquitous belief that we humans actually need to eat animal protein to be healthy, a host of incredibly powerful plant-based solutions to the world's most serious health, hunger, and sustainability crises never even make it to the table for consideration. Here's the bottom line on our love affair with eating meat. On a per-calorie basis, on average, animal-based foods require over 10 times as much land, water, and energy as do plant-based foods. As such, there are serious consequences when we fail to take advantage of the low-hanging fruit, like simply changing what we eat. For if we cannot take the animal out of the equation when it comes to feeding ourselves, we will never learn to live in harmony with nature, thereby placing the future of our civilization and our species in serious jeopardy. So how are we doing so far with our meat consumption? Not well. The global annual tonnage has doubled since 1980 and has increased 7-fold in just my lifetime. But of course, it's not just the food, it's also about the way we live. Modern society will find no solution to the ecological problem unless it takes a serious look at its lifestyle. So when it comes to modifying our lifestyles enough to prevent our demise as a species, can these guys save us? I would like to think so, but I have my doubts. Lack of vision, no plan of action, and a very weak stance on food choices. So how green is green enough? No one knows how green we must live to survive. So I suggest that we challenge ourselves to err on the side of living even greener than nature demands. Why so? Because we are likely to get only one chance to get this right. To be clear, we're talking about the urgent need to totally reinvent every aspect of the way we live as we create a human habitat where only green lifestyle choices exist. connecting the dots regarding urgent alarms from nature coming in the form of droughts, floods, fires, and don't forget the fires. The bigger the circle, the bigger the fire on this 100-year graph. In September of this year, 6 of the largest 20 fires in California history were all burning at the same time. Birds, insects, and coral, all crucial to our survival, all are in terminal decline. These 9 big picture scientists are featured in Chapter 4 of OUTCRY, and all have serious concerns about our future. Stuart and I are more optimistic about our chances than many of them are, and will explain why after hearing from 5 of them. Let's begin with the most famous, Jacques Cousteau. We've passed the threshold. The beginning of the end has started. Man may or may not be part of the plan nature has for the earth in the future. Life will be reborn, but first, the world as we know it will die. Dr. Frank Fenner, an expert on species extinction and the overall leader of the global team that eradicated the smallpox virus. He said in 2010, shortly before his death, Homo sapiens will become extinct, perhaps within 100 years. A lot of other animals will too. It's an irreversible situation. I think it's too late. Stephen Emmott, possibly the most informed big picture scientist on the planet. He concludes, as a scientist, what do I think about our current situation? Science is essentially organized skepticism. I spend my life trying to prove my work wrong or look for alternative explanations for my results. I hope I'm wrong, but the science points to my not being wrong. We urgently need to do, and I mean actually do, something radical to avert a global catastrophe, but I don't think we will. I think we're effed. James Lovelock, alive and well at 101. This living legend grasps the relevant global big picture more completely than perhaps any other scientist in history. He concludes, when you see the whole picture, it is really fearsomely bad. I fear that not many of us will survive, at best about 1 billion, possibly a lot less than that. But if the earth improves as a result of our presence, then we will flourish. If it doesn't, then we will die off. Is the earth improving because of our presence? Dr. Peter Wadhams, arguably the world's leading authority on the connection between the Arctic Ocean and climate change, he concludes, our only chance is to urgently begin removing CO2 from the atmosphere. He adds, melting Arctic sea ice is the canary in the coal mine, and that canary is just about dead. He reports that temperatures are rising much faster in the Arctic than in the rest of the world. As a result, the ice is rapidly disappearing, has already lost 75% of its mass, and may be completely gone in less than 10 years. Tragically, most humans think melting ice in the Arctic is a good thing for 3 reasons: faster shipping lanes, tourism, and oil. Ridiculous. So why are we more optimistic than those big picture scientists seem to be? For 4 reasons, 4 potential game changers in which they may be lacking in knowledge, experience, or expertise. We are more confident than they are that we can learn to live in harmony with nature by urgently leveraging these 4 disciplines to completely replace our civilization with one that can actually improve the biosphere. Willy-nilly infrastructure replacement will not save us. We must have a realistic vision and a plan for a whole new way of sustainable living in order for us to survive and thrive on this planet. Let's talk about that vision. Good business leaders create a vision, articulate the vision, passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion. What's the best way to change things? Here's a quote for you. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. We definitely need a new system of living on this planet, and whatever we decide, we're going to need a brand new sustainability-focused method of scorekeeping. We call it earthonomics, which replaces capitalism. Just think about the long-term absurdity of capitalism. An international scorekeeping system that guarantees the never-ending depletion of the Earth's finite resources until they are all gone. Obviously, we need a much better way to keep score. Earthonomics, a way of keeping score on planet Earth that rewards all actions to improve the biosphere and punishes those that inflict damage. So let's imagineer a world where that is possible. We call it the Great Big Northern. The Great Big Northern, or the GBN, a magical place where only green lifestyle options exist. A 3,000-mile futuristic living corridor near the Canadian border, 25 miles wide, with a fabulous Hyperloop system in the center, housing up to 300 million people with 70% less population density than New York City has now. World's largest farmers markets, no full employment, no homelessness, and the same superior healthcare for all. A way of life that is possible using today's technology. The greenest part of the GBN, a magnificent Hyperloop system using today's technology, replacing over 90% of domestic air and automobile travel shown below. All citizens could be less than a half day of luxurious travel from everyone they know. Is this the solution? No. Can it help start the conversation? Absolutely, and that's what we're trying to do. What about governance, jobs, and pecking order in that GBN? Consider this analogy. Think about a huge aircraft carrier in the US Navy with a crew of 5,000. Every crew member wants to be there, applied to be there, trained to be there. Exciting jobs, uniforms, meals, a salary, entertainment, a social life, healthcare, and a comfortable place to sleep. Defined pecking order. The entire crew is 100% aligned with the same mission. Their vessel is crucially important, as is ours, pictured here, our biosphere. Nothing is more important than this essential vessel that keeps us alive. How green are we living now in the developed world? My estimate, between 10 and 20% as efficiently as needed. Consider the disaster for all the children if we err on the side of taking out too few of our unsustainable habits. So, as we plan our new system of living, we must keep this guideline in mind when it comes to our questionable lifestyle habits. When in doubt, take it out. What about other countries? Well, they can build on our model, modify, improve, and replicate. The global conversation must begin soon, and that word is mentioned almost 50 times in our book, OUTCRY. When all else fails, can AI save us? In a world with 195 countries and thousands of religions, it seems highly unlikely to this practical engineer that we will ever get this mammoth GBN kind of task accomplished without a great deal of help from our lightning fast thinking robotic friends. Dr. Lovelock agrees, concluding in Novacine, a book that he published in 2019. We need not be afraid. We shall not descend into the kind of war between humans and machines that is so often described in science fiction, because we need each other. Musk and Putin on the future of AI. Elon says, I am very close to the cutting edge in AI, and it scares the hell out of me. It's capable of vastly more than almost anyone knows, and the rate of improvement is exponential. And these chilling words from Vladimir Putin. Whoever becomes the leader in this sphere will become the ruler of the world. So how do we save our biosphere? We listen to the troubling conclusions of those scientists as we envision and plan our future way of life, one that may or may not look anything like the GBN, which was just a visual to help spark a global conversation about radical lifestyle changes that are appealing and necessary. Sound crazy? Good, because people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. Are we crazy enough? It's all about the much needed conversation. The more people talk about this crucial topic, the greater the chance that powerful leaders will take notice and will start driving a global transformation in the way we live. Please visit my website shown here and sign up to receive my SOS memos. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Signing off now from the beautiful Green Mountain state of Vermont. Thank you very much.